What's up, guys? JT coming at you. I am doing a video response for Sammy Thunder. If you guys haven't checked out Sammy yet, I'm going to have the link to his channel down below. I highly suggest you guys check him out. He loves vintage just like me. His channel is nothing but vintage, which is pretty cool because we have so many channels dedicated to just new product. You know, you get kind of tired of seeing the same product being open on 100 different channels, seeing the same cards being pulled out of packs, and so it's kind of cool to have a fellow vintage collector. And what he wants you to share your favorite vintage cards. So I'm going to be showcasing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 are raw. And for me, vintage is anything 1980 and back, because 1981 started the whole Topps wear and Donruss. So to me, anything 81 and up is junk wax. So in no particular order, my first favorite vintage card I have is my Roger Maris rookie card. And the reason this is one of my favorites is because I got this in a trade with Mike the Card Dude, fellow brother in vintage. And this Maris rookie is Mike's Holy Grail card. And Mike actually purchased this for me as a Christmas gift on eBay. So I just got it a couple weeks ago, and this card is front and center in my display and in my collection. And my second raw vintage that I'm going to show is my 1971 Topps Nolan Ryan. I got this in a trade with Mike as well. And the reason this is one of my favorite vintage, obviously I PC Nolan. Nolan is my biggest PC. The reason this made the list is this was the first trade that I ever did with Mike. And, a 71 Nolan, and I think I sent him a PSA 10 Francisco Lindor. And, that's what started this whole relationship between Mike and I. And, I never would have guessed that I would have made such a good friend, someone that I actually call a brother, over a freaking piece of cardboard with somebody's picture on it that I've never met. So this one is definitely one of my favorites. Next on the list is graded. It is my 1956 Mickey Mantle Whiteback and a PSA 2. I'm starting a Mantle collection. I have a few Mantle cards, and I got this in a trade with Mike as well. So you guys see a common theme here. Obviously I love to trade. Mike and I trade quite often. Not only do we trade, we just if we're on eBay or we can work out a deal, we see something that we think the other one would like, it's theirs. We do all we can to get it. With this being just Mickey's third Topps card, I can't afford anything before that, and to have the rare whiteback version just makes it the icing on the cake. Next we have my T201, I gotta put this one here, my T201 Mecha double folder Walter Johnson. I'll try to come in here for you guys. That is in a PSA 1, and this is one of my favorite vintage because this card is well over 100 years old, and it's Walter Johnson, one of the first members in the Hall of Fame, one of the most important pitchers in MLB history. So I absolutely love this card by Walter Johnson. I've always wanted a Walter Johnson from his playing days, and I was finally able to purchase this. So obviously with being a Nolan fan, Walter Johnson is going to be right there with him. Another one that is one of my favorites is not actually a baseball card per se, but it's a baseball advertisement. It is from the 1880s. If I can get it to stand there. It's from the 1880s. It is an SGC 1.5. And this is called a Standish Cream Caramel card. And the way that you originally got this card, as a kid, you went into a candy store and you bought one of these Standish Cream Caramels for a penny, and they gave you the card as an advertisement. So the reason this is one of my favorites is, it's from the 1880s, so it's at least 140 years old. The reason I love this card so much is just think of the history. Back in 1880, some little kid paid a penny for a piece of candy, got this. Who was that kid? Where was he from? How did this card last 140 years and not get thrown away by his mom? Just the history, and then for it to be passed down and to still be around after this long is amazing. And it's blank back, as you can see there. And it's just a little caricature of a guy catching a fly and no gloves. That's how they played ball back in the 1880s. Now, like I did say, I wasn't ranking these in any particular order, but this one is by far my favorite vintage card that I own. It is my 1968 Nolan Ryan rookie in a BVG 5. I showed a couple of Brian before. Nolan is my main PC. This was my holy grail card. And I acquired this a couple of years ago in a trade at a flea market, actually. I had a 51 Ted Williams, a 51 Bowman Ted Williams, and the guy was a major Ted Williams fan. And I had told him, that I had a 51 Bowman Williams, and I showed him a picture of it on my phone, and he asked would I be willing to trade. And I didn't have the Ted Williams at the time, so we exchanged numbers, eventually hooked up, and traded a 51 Williams for this 68 Nolan rookie. So there you have it, guys. That's my favorite vintage in my collection. That's nowhere near all of my vintage, but those are my top cards. So I hope you enjoyed seeing what I think is my favorite vintage, and I'd love to see yours. Okay, until then, take care. God bless.